All right. Good morning, everyone. Before we get started, we're just going to do a little presentation etiquette. Just please be mindful that others can see you. You're to stay muted at all times. Make sure you raise your hand and wait to be called upon so others can hear what you have to say. Each of you have access to your chat box, a hand raise and a hand clap and a thumbs up feature that's located on your phone or your mobile device at the top in the more section. Should be in the right hand corner. Please participate and we're gonna just have a little fun today, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about Change Happens. We are a nonprofit organization. Our mission is to empower people to help themselves. And today we have two dynamic programs that's going to give you a presentation today, which is Hype 3.0, which is our teen pregnancy prevention program. And that's for youth in grades 9th through the 12th. And we have the Rescue Youth Substance Use Prevention Program, and that's for youth ages 6 to 18. So let's meet some of our team members today. So first I want to acknowledge our CEO, and that's Ms. Helen Stagg, our program coordinator, Lauren Harris for Hype 3.0, Taylor Jones, our risk assessment specialist, Christine Smith, our health educator, Crystal Shannon, our health educator, David Brown, our health educator, and then myself, Kelva Clay, I'm a program director. We have Haley Canada, the prevention specialist lead, Aaron Traylor, our prevention specialist, and William Santi, our prevention specialist. So let's talk a little bit about what you're gonna learn today. So one of the things that we're gonna touch on is how to effectively solve conflicts using healthy strategies, and how to identify life stressors and how to manage stress using healthy stress management strategies. So one last thing before I go though, I would like for you to run over to your social media and like our pages. So we have Rescue Youth and we have Hype 3.0. We need at least 100 likes. So we would like for you to assist us with that. Plus keep checking our pages because we post a lot of job trainings that's for youth your ages, job opportunities, and different resources. So you want to go in and like those pages. And if you're able to go to the chat box now, you can put your social media handle in there so we'll be able to follow you or request you as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to use your chat box. So we're gonna have Mr. David go lead us into just a quick icebreaker.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Kelva. Again, my name is David Brown. I'm a health educator with Hype 3.0 at Change Happens. So we're gonna do a one-word check-in just to see how your day is going so far on this beautiful Saturday morning. And you can just put how you're feeling in the chat box. So I'll start it off. Today I'm feeling grateful. I'm grateful to be on this call with you all, and we're all healthy and we're all able to be here. And that's my one-word check-in. And let's see, you guys can put your one-word check-in. Okay, anxious, blessed, absolutely. I like that. Sleepy, okay. We gotta wake up, Miss Clay. Tired, I know it's kind of early on this Saturday. Excited, okay. Let's go. Somebody's bored. Okay, hopefully we can spice it up a bit in here. Happy, okay, Arlie, I'm happy as well. Hey, Lauren, I'm excited. Satisfied. These are some great responses, you all. Thank you. I appreciate the participation. And moving forward, I would also like to know what you all think stress management and conflict resolution looks like to you all. Again, stress management and conflict resolution, what does that look like to you? So if you can also put that in the chat box as well, so we can just see where you guys are with this, have an idea. What does stress management and conflict resolution look like to you? You can put some responses in the chat box down below. Oh, I like that, having a plan. Thank you, Shannon Adams. Active listening. That's great, Ms. Jones. Clear communication. Absolutely. These are some great responses. We have some experts in the building. Oh no, not procrastination. Christine, I think we need to get it together a little bit. Communication and understanding. Thank you, Kenny Lil, I'm sorry, I said the name wrong. Having a positive mindset, absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Bush. Understanding, absolutely. This is amazing. Everyone's participating. I appreciate it. But we can move right along, and I can bring in Ms. Jones.
All right, so good morning, everyone. This is Ms. Jones coming to you from Hype 3.0. I am a risk assessment specialist with Hype 3. And today I just want to drop a quick lesson on conflict resolution. This is a topic that you've probably heard a million times before, and it is a common skill used to solve problems, to solve misunderstandings, and also dilemmas. So we hope that you can take away a good learning piece from this lesson, okay? So before we get started, I want to begin by asking you all to think about what conflict is. You don't have to comment this in the chat box, but just think about what it means to you. Okay, so just take a quick second. So for some, a definition of conflict could involve maybe like starting a war or starting a fight and so forth. For others, it could be as simple or not so simple as a disagreement of differences in opinions. Maybe we just don't see eye to eye. Maybe we don't have the same perspective, and that's okay, right? So there are different ways to come up with the definition of conflict because it can show up in different ways, right? So for me, conflict may look like Houston traffic and someone not allowing me to merge over, right? So it can show up large and small. Maybe for you, it looks like peer pressure or cyberbullying, or maybe that person didn't follow you back on social media. So now we have like, you know, a little tension. Or it could be just a disagreement with the parent, okay? So now I want you all to think about how you experience conflict. Think about how it makes you feel. Think about those emotions that it brings up. So maybe you were angry, maybe upset, maybe you felt misunderstood, right? We all can sometimes feel that way, especially when our needs are not being met. So if you can't recall the time when you were in conflict, then you probably remember how it made you feel, okay? So conflict can definitely trigger strong emotions. It can lead to hurt feelings, it can lead to disappointments, tension, and also just some discomfort with that person. But nevertheless, conflict is not always negative. Did you know that? So conflict can definitely be a positive force. However, it has to be resolved positively, okay? So it can actually help strengthen relationships and also give you a greater understanding of yourself. So before we move forward, we have a poll question. So a poll question is it's one simple question and you select the different answers that you believe applies, okay? So the first question, and our only question, what could healthy ways of resolving conflict look like? So we ask that you select multiple choices and go ahead and press submit. We'll give you all about a minute to do so. All right, so go ahead and finish up. We'll leave it up a little longer. All right, Haley, could we get those poll results or have they came in just yet?
Yep, and if you're on a mobile device, click poll in progress and you'll be able to respond that way. We'll give you about 5 more seconds.
Okay. All right, sorry about that, Haley. Could you pull that back up? For some reason it pulled up and then it went away. All right, so it looks like 93% chose respecting other viewpoints, which was really good. Also, 95% having calm, non-defensive reactions. Yes, you all are correct. All right, so let's go ahead and move forward. All right, so based on the results, it do appear that you all have a pretty good understanding of healthy ways to handle conflict, which is great. Conflict can actually be a positive force again. It can provide you with opportunities to take a closer look at yourself. So like, kind of like self-checking yourself, like maybe was I in the wrong? How did I, contribute to this issue? And it can also cause you to look at your attitudes and also your beliefs. So let's take a look at what healthy debate, also known as healthy conflict, and the differences between that and unhealthy conflict. So if we take a look at unhealthy conflict, it looks a lot like having a lack of respect for other people. I'll say their goals and their views. So this could look like maybe standing firm on what you believe in, but not being open to respecting what somebody else believes in, right? Unhealthy conflict, it looks like explosive, angry, defensive behavior. So instead of being calm, I'm now in the defense and you're not coming at me like that, right? So focusing on this person may focus on actually just having the last word, but not finding a solution, okay? So let's look at a healthy debate. This looks much more positive. You are respecting each other's viewpoints. You have a calm, non-defensive reaction. So this also lets the person know that you are coming at them with respect and you want that back in return. Also a desire to seek compromise. So you're willing to find a solution. You're willing to, sometimes you may have to agree to disagree, right? Belief that confronting the conflict will benefit individuals involved. So that's definitely a more positive and optimistic mindset than a fear of conflict or a fear that this is going to end bad. So let's look at ways that we can handle this by using conflict resolution. All right, so what exactly is conflict resolution and how does it work? So we know that as teens, you all experience conflict on the daily. It could be a disagreement with parents. It could be a disagreement with your friends or your sibling. It could also be a disagreement with your teacher, and that's quite normal. However, we do know it's impossible to avoid conflict. So the best thing that we can do is to provide you with those skills so that you can be able to resolve conflict when it comes up. So conflict resolution, it is a life skill that you will need, especially growing up as teens, right? In your future dilemmas, we will come across some issues. Conflict resolution is a simple process that involves two or more people for two or more people to use to find a solution to their disagreement. All right, so I listed the 7 steps below and they are quite simple. So reach out, the first step. So reach out, come together with the person that you are having a conflict with. Of course, once you're calm and you're ready to, of course, approach the person. And then also engage in a conversation next. So this means bringing up what's bothering you, remaining calm as well, and making sure that you talk at least one person at a time. Number 3, seek to solve the problem. So actually come up with sensible and possible solutions to the disagreement that you all can both accept. Number 4, open up and communicate. So calmly communicate your side of the issue or your side of the story, and then explain how you feel. But you also have to allow that person to do the same. So don't just go telling a person how you feel without allowing them to communicate with you as well. All right, step 5 is listen intentionally. So this is active listening to the other person so that you can actually understand their point of view. 6, voice your solutions. So brainstorm solutions to resolve your conflict together. So collectively and as a team, come up with different solutions so that you can get to an end goal. And then number 7 is end on a good note. So be positive, have a positive attitude. Whatever was said, leave it there with that person and don't carry that on with you into the next conflict or next issue. So along with conflict resolution, there are several benefits. So you build assertiveness, you build a positive attitude, you build resilience so that you know how to bounce back when you have another issue that comes up and you know how to handle it effectively. You also build empathy and growth and maturity. So how can we make sure our voices are heard and our complaints and concerns are actually met and not ignored? We simply learn and practice healthy strategies, which I'll turn it over to Christine for her to discuss.
All right, thanks, Taylor. Good morning, everyone. I'm Christine Smith. I'm a health educator with Hype 3.0. So now we're actually going to talk about ways to complain. So complaining is very essential for us. It's a way for us to express our feelings. It's also a way for us to just get our point across and sometimes just let people know what exactly is going on. However, many people do not complain effectively. So first, we're going to look at the 6 bad ways to complain. The first one is mind reading. So that looks like you are assuming what the other person is thinking. So this is where you might have told someone, well, you don't care about me or you don't care about my feelings. You are assuming that you know what's going on in their mind. The next one is name calling. So name calling happens when you attack someone's character instead of focusing on the specific behavior. So if someone shows up late, instead of saying that you're mad at them for being late, you call them irresponsible or you call them rude. The next one is making an overgeneralization, also known as you always or you never. It's like saying you never do anything that I ask or you always take her side, but avoid using these statements because someone can never do something and someone cannot always do something. The next one is blaming. So blaming is usually done with an angry intent to hurt another person. So if you lost the soccer game as a team, someone may feel like it's their job to blame someone for missing a goal or not scoring a point, putting all the blame and all the pressure on someone. And it's definitely guaranteed to have that person reacting defensively. The next one is kitchen sinking. So this is where you start with one complaint, but then you throw in another and another. So you might be upset that your friend didn't go to the mall with you. And then you mention how last week they didn't come to your football game and how last year they didn't come to your dance recital. So throwing a lot of things at them will for sure overwhelm them. And then finally, the last one is cross-complaining. So that is where one person starts with a complaint, but then the other person turns in complaints to that person. So if your parent tells you that you got in trouble for something, you tell your parent, okay, I was wrong for doing that, but you didn't say anything when my brother did this, or you didn't say anything when my sister did that, shifting the blame to another person. So these are all very ineffective ways to complain. And if you've used some, go ahead and leave in the chat box which ones look really familiar to you. But we are actually going to look at a more effective way to complain, which is also known as the WWA formula. So the WWA formula is very simple. It's 3 steps. The first W is what? What exactly happened? So focus on the specific behavior that bothers you. If you are upset about something that your friend did, focus on what was the behavior or the situation that caused you to become upset with them. The next W is when or where. So focus on the last time that the behavior happened and avoid using the words always or never. So if you're upset that your friend didn't come to the mall with you last Friday, make sure you let them know it was last Friday. And then finally, the A in the formula is how did it affect you? So explain how it made you feel or why it made you upset or why it bugged you. You didn't come to the mall with me last Friday and it made me feel neglected or it made me feel like you didn't care about me or something like that. So putting all 3 of these things together makes the effective complaint. So this is what we want you to use when you are making a complaint, because a lot of times when we're making complaints, we're not doing it the correct way and we're not going to receive the right responses. So make sure that you use all 3 of these to make the effective complaint. The next thing we're going to look at is the speaker listener technique. So speaker listener technique is very effective and it's only 3 steps for both the speaker and the listener. So whenever you have a conflict and you have an argument with somebody, this will be a great way for you both to get your point across, but also make sure that each other is being heard. So for the speaker, you have 3 rules. The first one, speak for yourself. No mind reading. So do not assume that you know what the other person is feeling. Speak for yourself. The second rule, do not go on and on. So even though you might be upset about something that happened last week or last month, only focus on this one specific situation. And then finally, pause and let the listener paraphrase. So even though you may have a lot to say, do some frequent pauses just so you can see that they're understanding your point, or maybe you can go back and clarify for them. For the listener, do not interrupt the person. Even if you disagree, even if they're saying like some things that really are upsetting you, just let them say what they have to say. And then respectfully, when it's your turn, you can talk to them about why you disagree with some points. The next thing, seek to understand them. So don't seek to argue, seek to understand. And then finally, paraphrase what you are hearing from the speaker. So remember to stay on one topic at a time, and also make sure that you're equally sharing the responsibilities of talking and listening. That's how you are going to resolve that conflict. So finally, we're going to take a look at the speaker listener demonstration in live action. So Ms. Jones and I will be doing a scenario. We are going to, I'm going to read the scenario and then we are going to act it out for you all. So the scenario is Taylor asked Christine to come to a football game with her later that night. Christine says that she can't make it, but Taylor sees on social media later that Christine went to the football game with another friend. So Taylor is going to start off with the speaker listener card. We're going to do a quick exchange, and then we're just going to demonstrate how easy the speaker listener technique can really be.
All right, and scene. All right, so Christine, I'm not gonna even lie, I'm feeling some type of way about what I saw on Instagram. I invited you out to the football game. You told me no, but I see you on David's Live just snapping it up. Like, what's really up?
I mean, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Like, I couldn't make it at first, but then he asked me later on, and I was like, I mean, why not?
Well, I mean, you know how big communication is to me, and just being that we are really good friends, you know, just like a simple text would have been okay, that, hey, I'm going to make it to the game, because we could have stepped together.
Okay, so it sounds like you're more upset that I didn't communicate with you about going to the game after all.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So yeah, if you could have just like sent me a text to let me know, I would have felt a whole lot better. I kind of felt a little betrayed when I asked you and you told me no, and then David pops up and y'all like all on the phone.
Okay, so next time I'll make sure to communicate that with you. I will admit I did not do it to hurt your feelings. I was just kind of going with the flow at the time, but I can see exactly where you're coming from, and I'll make sure to let you know next time, and we can definitely all go together. I hope there's no hard feelings.
All right, thanks for being a listener and understanding where I'm coming from.
Thanks. So as you all can see, we were able to get to the bottom of that situation very quickly. Obviously, not all conflict will be that easy. Sometimes it's going to take a lot of energy, a lot more calming yourselves down, but it is a great way to start. And it's also just a way for you to understand that each person should speak, as well as each person should have a chance to listen. So make sure you remember the speaker listener technique as one of the conflict resolution skills, and let us know if it actually ends up working for you, because it's a very effective tool, even for us as adults. So finally, we're going to leave you with a couple tools in terms of conflict resolution. So when in doubt, remember to use these. The first thing we recommend is the timeout method. So we hear about timeout in sports and timeout in daycare, but we're talking about an actual timeout, meaning you're taking no less than 30 minutes, but no more than 24 hours for you to come to a person that you're having an issue with and try to resolve that conflict. So the reason why, because you need at least 30 minutes for your brain to cool down and for you to, you know, return to your normal levels, and then you can have that good conversation that's not built off of anger and fueled off of emotion. So you can use the timeout method, no less than 30 minutes, but no more than 24 hours. The next one is the speaker listener method, which is the one that we just did. But you have to remember that this is a team effort. So not one person is speaking all the time, not one person is listening. Make sure you are taking turns. The next one is trusted adult connection. So seeking advice from someone that you trust, whether that be a parent, teacher, another relative, an older sibling, a coach, someone that can give you great advice and someone that can lead you in the right way. And then finally, we've included 2 apps that you can download to help you when it's time to calm yourself down. The first one is the Calm app. They have breathing programs, and breathing programs we'll get into a little bit later. But they are very great at managing stress and allowing yourself to calm down. The Calm app also includes relaxing music and some sleep stories. And then the next app we recommend is Colorfy. It is a coloring app. So even though you might think like, why do I want to color? Coloring is actually a very good relaxation technique. It's also a really good creative outlet for teens as well. So before you doubt it, just give it a try and let us know if you have even more apps that you recommend for downloading in terms of like managing conflict or even just to help yourself relax. And with that, that is concluding the Hype 3.0 conflict resolution.
All right, cool. Whoops. Hello. So we are going to play a game called, oh, is it not my turn? Okay, it says you're muted by the host. Okay, but anyway, we're going to play Would You Rather. So if you remember in the beginning, we had said if you look at the bottom of your computer screen, there's a reaction button, and you can use the clap emoji for one Would You Rather, or you can use a thumbs up for Would You Rather. And if you're on your cell phone, if you look in the more, your reaction should be there. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so the first one, would you rather be sticky forever or would you rather be itchy forever? Now I'm gonna be going through looking for people's responses. You can do your thumbs up or, okay, I see 1 thumbs up. Okay, everybody wants to be sticky. Okay, sticky. Oh, okay, I see 1 itchy. And I'm gonna be calling you guys out, see if you'll participate. So Jezebel, can you tell me why you wanna be itchy forever? Jezebel, can you unmute yourself and say why you want to be itchy forever?
I definitely meant to click sticky forever.
Okay. Okay, then why do you want to be sticky forever, Jezebel?
I'd rather be sticky instead of scratching myself all day, every day. I mean, sticky doesn't seem like that much of a hassle.
Okay. All right. Who wants to be itchy? Anybody?
Searching for something new. This makes a lot of sense.
No? Okay, we're moving on. We'll go to the next one. All right, would you rather hang out with your friends outside or would you rather hang out with your friends on social media? Thumbs up for outside, hand clap for the social media. Okay, a lot of outside. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, a lot of people outside. Oh, y'all just saying you're sick of being inside. Okay. Let's see. Xavier, I think I saw your thumbs up. Could you explain why you wanted to hang out with your friends outside?
Oh, well, hanging out outside is just more fun, especially like I'm looking out the window and it's such a beautiful day. And it's just so unfortunate that we are quarantined. But outside, you can just hang out. And even though you can chill on social media too, it's not the same. I mean, it's like what we're doing right now. Who would want to hang out like this and have fun? Like, what can you possibly do? But outside, you can go get some Chick-fil-A, some Cane's, go to a park, sit
Okay.
down, feel that breeze, and just hang out outside, enjoy
Okay.
nature.
All right, good job. All right, next one. All right, would you rather? So you got type 1 house and type 2 house. So people, you read through type 1, type 2, and then put up thumbs 1 for type 1, clapping hands for type 2 house. And I'm looking through to see who's done what. Okay. Okay. All right. I see some clapping hands. Oh, I see a lot of thumbs up. Okay. All right. Okay. Noah, can you explain to me why'd you pick type 2 house?
I had a feeling you was gonna call me, but I picked type 2 house because I can't swim.
Okay, if you can't swim. Okay, good reason. Okay, let's see. Shannon, can you say why you picked the type 1 house? Shannon Adams?
I picked type 1 because I don't like cats and they got free Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And I'd rather have a meal over a snack.
Okay, all right then. All right. All right, next one, please. All right. Oh, okay. Would you rather Team DC thumbs up or Team Marvel Comics? I need to see some love for DC because I feel like DC get bad rap. So let me see some thumbs up for DC and some hand claps for Marvel too. Okay, I see some hand claps. All right, all right, all right. Okay, there goes a thumbs up. I see it. Okay, Frederick, can you tell me why you picked Marvel?
To me, they got better powers, I guess. I want to say, and I never got into DC like that.
Okay, all right. Mathis the Panther, I think I saw you thumbs up for DC, right? Can you explain why you picked DC?
I thought I clapped, and it's Mateus, but no, I
Oh,
like
I'm
Marvel.
sorry.
I
Okay,
like Marvel. I like Spider-Man. That's
but your name says Mateus the Panther. Okay, though, that's fine.
yeah. I can't change my name screen. I won't change. I'm not change.
Okay, all right. Next one, please. All right, I think this is the last one. So if you want to write an award-winning book, thumbs up, or direct an award-winning movie, clap your hands. Okay. All right. John Carlos Rubio, can you explain why you want to do a movie?
I don't like reading.
Okay, okay, good enough reason. All right, all right. Let's see. Nobody for a book? Nobody for a book at all? Oh, okay. Miss Canada, I see for a book. Okay, and Lanisha Rogers, can you explain why you want to write a book really fast?
I want to write an award-winning book because I think all great books get turned into movies, so it doesn't really matter.
There you go, girl. Okay, I agree with you. All right. Thanks, guys, for playing with me. And now we're going to turn it over to Mr. William for conflict resolution.
Thank you for that, Aaron. How are you guys doing? My name is William. Today we're going to be talking about stress management. Stress is how the brain and body respond to any demand, and especially any demand that is challenging. Any type of challenge could be a performance at work or school, a significant life change, or a traumatic event. All of these things can be stressful. While I'm speaking, feel free to type in things that are stressing you guys out right now inside the chat box. Everyone in our society experiences stress. It's a natural part of being human. Stress isn't always bad, and sometimes it may motivate you to do something that you have never done before. Now, what can be bad is the way that we deal with our stress. Now, like I said, there's a poll that we're about to ask you guys is going to be popping up very, very soon. And it is, what is a current stressor for you? Now, a stressor is simply something that causes stress. So take a few moments to fill out the poll and let me know what a current stressor is for you. In the meantime, I'm filling out the poll as well.
Yep, we have a lot of responses coming in.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys take your time and hurry up to finish up those responses. Let's see. Some people are being stressed by being forced to stay inside the house. Some people are forced to doing schoolwork online. Okay, we have quarantine, free outside.
All right.
This quarantine is stressing a lot of us out. All right, I'm waiting for poll results to come in. Please make sure you finish up your polls. All right, the number one answer. What is stressing you guys out right now? Drum rolls, please. Awesome. It is being in the house all the time. That 64% of you guys said that being inside the house is stressing you out. Also, we have schoolwork coming right behind that. And in the end, the least thing that is stressing you guys out is fear related to COVID-19. Thank you guys for taking the time to fill out that poll, and we're going to move on. Somebody says they hate it. Amir says he hates it and he needs freedom. I understand completely. All right, now there are two different types of stress. The positive stress, which is called eustress, it energizes you. It can usually be short term and it can improve your performance. Some people believed is within their coping mechanisms and that it is something that they can handle. So I'm going to move on to talking about negative types of stress is distress. Now, Distress usually feels unpleasant and often depletes your energy. It could be short-term or long-term, and it usually decreases your overall performance. It could lead to physical illness as well as mental fatigue and emotional depletion. Now I'm going to give you guys some types of examples of positive stress. Have you guys ever had to play for a game for a football or basketball or soccer, and there's a lot of people, the game's on the line, but it's nothing that's going to bring you down. It's something that makes you want to perform. So those are examples of positive stress. Another thing could be maybe a first date or trying something new. If you guys know anything that are positive stressor or positive stress, please feel free to type it inside the chat box, and I will go ahead and call those out if I see them. Now, there are also different types of negative stress. Some examples of negative stress, also known as distress, are currently right now, some people are in distress because of COVID-19. It is a natural disaster. Some people have family issues that stress them out. And some people might lose somebody who is very close to them, and that could be very stressful knowing that you've lost a friend. So as well as you guys are putting in positive, not knowing the end of a movie, that could be positive or negative. That could cause some people to stress. We have volleyball, that is a positive stressor. Feel free to type in some negative stressors or negative stress in the chat box as well. When it's 40-41 and we are down by 1 point, that is a positive stress. That is a positive stress. All I can say is Kobe. Baseball. All right, moving on. Girlfriends are negative stress. Or girlfriends could be a positive stress. You know, it's all on how you perceive it. Now, how does your body react when stressed? I know when you're down by 1 point, you know, your adrenaline might be rushing and your heart rate might increase. Some people have butterflies in the stomach. Oh, I apologize. We do have a poll. So if you guys see the poll, if you guys are having any difficulties accessing the poll, feel free to click on it and that might help you access the poll. Now, these are when you feel stressed, what happens to your body? So like I said, some people could have muscle tension. Some people could have difficulty holding their hands steady, or they could have a dry mouth. Some people may have sweaty hands. Some people may have difficulty concentrating. So please feel free to fill out the poll and let us know what happens to you when you are stressed. If there's another way that you react to, or your body reacts towards stress, feel free to type it inside the chat box and we'll call it out as we see it.
Yep, we almost got all the responses, maybe 5 more seconds.
Thank you, Mateus. You know, sometimes I be flipped. You get bad headaches. That is how your body can react. That is interesting. All right, the results are in. 33% of you guys, when you feel stressed, you cannot think or focus. After that, sometimes you guys might get emotional. Lastly, some people are, if these are between, all of these are under 10%. So some people get tight shoulders, their heart beats fast, or they might get sweaty hands, or they might get shaky voice or shaky hands. Thank you guys for filling out the poll and also filling out the chat box. Crying and laughing at the same time. That has happened to me once. It is a very difficult situation. Big flurry of emotions. So thank you guys for filling out the chat. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Haley, who will tell you how to deal with stress.
All right, guys, thank you so much for your participation in the polls and the chat. We'd love to hear from you. So we've talked about what stresses us out, how our body feels when we're stressed, but now we got to talk about how we cope with that. So there's some negative ways to deal with stress. Smoking, a lot of people say they smoke because it relaxes them. But smoking actually puts your body into a heightened stressed state. It increases your blood pressure. So it's actually not helping you cope with your stress. It's creating more stress. Drinking, also same thing. It's not relieving or removing the stressor. It's just masking it. Taking it out on others, as we learned in conflict resolution, not a healthy way to cope with your stress and generally causes more stress long term. Keeping it inside and doing nothing also isn't a healthy way to cope with your stress. It means you need to get that energy out. Eating your stress long term isn't helpful. Causing fights or taking drugs. But there are plenty of healthy, positive ways to deal with your stress. For some people, that's exercise. And go ahead and put some in the chat box. What ways you guys cope with stress that's healthy. So for some people, that's exercise. For others, it's listening to music. Some people might want to talk it out with a close friend or a trusted adult. Journaling, reading can be relaxing and stress relieving. Even sometimes setting goals can be a really great way to help manage your stress, because sometimes we get really overwhelmed by the big picture or the big task. And if we can break it up into smaller goals, that can help us manage. Taking a break or a nap, some deep breathing or meditation, and then staying connected. You guys all said that you guys are stressed about being in the house. You would rather hang out with your friends outside, and that's hard to do right now. That's a stress in our lives. But it's important that we still stay connected through the ways that we're able to. Isolation does not help your stress. Okay, I see some good responses coming in the chat. Thank you guys so much. So we are actually gonna practice a couple techniques, because the best way to keep and retain what you're learning is to practice it. So we are gonna do some deep breathing. So for some of you, this may feel a little awkward. It may not be the way you're used to breathing, but what we're gonna do is, it's called 4x4 breathing. We're gonna take a breath in slowly for 4 seconds. We're gonna hold it for 4 seconds. And then instead of just going, letting it out quick, we're gonna slowly let it out for 4 seconds, and we're gonna do it 4 times. That's the name 4x4 breathing, okay? You can close your eyes if you're in a safe, comfortable place. You don't have to close your eyes. And I'm gonna count us down. I'm gonna say, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4. So you guys go on my count. If you do it wrong and you breathe in fast, it's okay. We're gonna do it 4 times and you'll kind of get a feel for it. All right, thumbs up. Is everybody ready to breathe? All right, I like it. I see a lot of thumbs up. Let's do this. Okay. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. If somebody would like to unmic themselves, maybe tell me how that felt for you, if you felt more relaxed at the end, if it was weird, strange. Would anyone like to share?
I felt like some relief.
Okay, awesome.
It felt pretty good. Even when you was counting, it kind of put a little rhythm in your head, had me moving side to side, you know.
Okay, good, good. Maybe 1 or 2 more, and then we're gonna move on to our next technique.
Okay, so I can't hold my breath. So that's really like got my mind focused on holding my breath, because that was hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, it's something we gotta practice, right? Like I said, it may feel unnatural at first, and that's great feedback.
I like the little tune that you put on the beat. It made me focus better.
All right. So this is something you guys can do when you're stressed, and it's something you can do when you're starting to just start to feel the stress. And the more you do it and practice it, the more natural it becomes. And it's just a way to pause and slow your body. Okay. So the next one we're going to do is called guided imagery. And this one may feel a little strange to you guys too, but what we're going to do is we're going to imagine a place where we feel safe, calm, happy, and we're going to go through our senses and really try to experience that place. So for me, nature is, especially living in this big city, nature is something that is really calming for me. So that's why you see all the nature pictures. Again, you can close your eyes, you can keep them open, but what I want you to do is take a few seconds and visualize a place. It doesn't have to be an outdoor place. It can be your bedroom. It could be maybe your granny's house is the most happy, calm place for you. It could be a place that you one day want to go to and you're always thinking about it. So we're going to just take a few seconds to do this. So I want everyone to get their spot in your mind, start to visualize it. And while you're there, it's coming into focus, I want you to think, what do you see? I want you to look around. What do you see? What can you hear? Is there any smell? What do you smell? Is there anybody else with you? Are there objects present? Is there anything you feel like you could reach out and touch? All right, let's open our eyes. If maybe one person, because we are just about out of time, would like to share where you were, where that place was, what you saw, what you smelled, what you heard, we can get one person to share. Or you can put it in the chat box if you want to share there. All right, doesn't seem like anyone's feeling like sharing. Maybe everyone's place was real personal. You want to keep it for yourself. That's totally fine.
Hey, I don't mind sharing.
Okay.
Sorry, it was a little delayed, but you can go ahead and move forward. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. So this is another technique you can do anywhere to help calm yourself down. The last thing I wanted to mention for you guys, if you're overwhelmed by stress, it's okay and natural and normal to ask for help from a health professional. So on the screen are a few resources for you guys. If you are thinking of suicide or killing yourself, please reach out to somebody. Stress is something that can be managed, and there are people that are trained to help you. If you aren't comfortable reaching out to one of these things, send me a private message in the chat. I am the host. I will receive it, and I can respond and get you connected with some resources. All right, lastly, Crystal is going to close us out.
Hey, you all. So I'm Crystal. If you have any questions from the presentation or any questions that you are inspired by the presentation, please drop them in the chat box now or unmic yourself. But please make sure you guys are taking turns and not over talking each other, and we can answer them. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram at RY Team Houston or at Hype 3.0 _, and that's the number 0. And we have Facebooks as well, Change Happen Rescue Youth, and at Hype 3.0. Let's see if we have any questions. Okay, I don't see any questions. Well, let's ask some questions for you all. Do you guys see yourself utilizing any of the techniques you learned during this presentation?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna use that breathing method. I like that.
I'm going to use the positive conflict solving method. So I'm going to try to utilize it.
Okay. So again, the apps that we did provide to you all are free. The Colorfy, and the Calm app. Also, some other apps could be like Pandora has a relaxation / meditation radio station, and it just plays literally like water sounds and, you know, but those are another ways you can utilize to help you guys all stay calm. And, you know, if you have any other app suggestions or any other conflict resolution or stress management tips or techniques, you can drop them in the chat box for your peers. Alrighty, well, make sure you follow us on Instagram. If you do not have 2 devices, you can take a screenshot of your page, or you can put your social media handles within the chat boxes. Listen to that new Uzi. I've been listening to that like every day. I already know.
Oh my goodness.
Well, sleep does work, but it's only temporary. You still want to be able to handle whatever it is that's bothering you. Alrighty now, I'm going to pass it on over to Mr. Jose, and he will take us out from here.
Okay, good morning again. Thank y'all so much, Miss Canada, Miss Harris. I really do appreciate you all. I know y'all have been working with us for the past year and a half or so. I know the students really enjoyed the workshop. We thoroughly enjoyed the presentation today. Thank you again so much. I believe my director is on here if she had a word or two to say.
No, well, you said it, Jose. I just want to thank Change Happens. You all did an awesome job. This was wonderful. I love the fact that the students were engaged. They participated. So this was awesome. I hope that, well, I know we'll be continuing our partnership with you all, and we can do some things in the summer because the students had wonderful things to say about the organization in the past. So again, thank you so much for this. Was an awesome presentation. And is that it, Miss Canada? Is that pretty much it?
That's it. That is it for us. We want to thank you for having us. We always like partnering with you guys and working with your students. Thank your students for being so engaged and responding in the chat box and doing our polls with us. That made it really fun. And even though we're far apart, we're nice to be able to get interaction with you guys. So thank you so much.
Miss Ashley, we want to see if we can try to get a picture